Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb has suggested that 3I Atlas, this strange interstellar visitor, is not just a comet, not just a frozen rock from another star system, but possibly some kind of alien technology. Now, as a physicist, I must always be cautious. Extraordinary claims demand extraordinary evidence. And yet, the data keep changing. And with every new number, the entire story of Atlas changes as well. For months, astronomers believed that this visitor would simply skim past Mars. A spectacular flyby, yes, but harmless. We called it an interloper, first spotted on July 1st, dim and ghostly, no brighter than a background star. At first, there was no reason to panic, but new calculations from Harvard, from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and from independent teams around the world have revealed something extraordinary. This object does not behave like a rock. Its trajectory is too precise. Its motion is too controlled. And now, for the first time, the latest data show it could actually collide with Mars. Think about the speed. Atlas is moving at nearly 87 kilometers per second relative to the Sunday. That's faster than anything humanity has ever tracked from interstellar space. At that speed, it crosses the distance between the Earth and the Moon in less than 80 minutes. Imagine that. While you sit and eat lunch, this object has already traveled hundreds of thousands of kilometers. And every hour, the Sun, Jupiter, and Mars tug at its path, altering it by micrometers per second, tiny adjustments that grow immense across millions of kilometers. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter has seen even stranger things. The coma, the hazy halo around Atlas, has doubled in brightness since August. Ultraviolet spikes, bursts of high-energy radiation, pulse from it in ways we have never seen. And the rate of carbon dioxide outgassing is unprecedented, far beyond what we know from comets in our own solar system. Instead of stabilizing as it approaches the Sun, Atlas is accelerating. It is course correcting. Like a guided missile, new trajectory analysis puts its closest approach at just 1.95 million kilometers from Mars on September 26, 2025. To planetary astronomers, that is a cosmic hair's breadth. Mars's gravity could seize it, alter it, even pull it closer. And here is where things become terrifying. A mere 10 kilometers per second of additional velocity could tip Atlas from a near miss into a direct hit just weeks later. To put that in perspective, that's only a fraction of the momentum SpaceX's Starship uses to leave Earth's atmosphere. And those small momentum changes are happening right now, hidden inside Atlas's tail. Spectroscopy from Gemini South in Chile has revealed that Atlas does not vent gas randomly. Instead, every 17 minutes, like clockwork, it releases a pulse, perfectly synchronized, for days at a time. In nature, comets do not behave like this. Their jets erupt when sunlight strikes fresh ice, but those eruptions are chaotic, unpredictable. Atlas's pulses, by contrast, look engineered. They resemble the firing of thrusters on a spacecraft. If this pattern continues, then by September 19th, Atlas will have thrust itself to within 50 kilometers of Mars, closer than some of its moons. One powerful outburst at that distance, and it could be pushed into a direct collision. And if that happens, the consequences are staggering. Atlas is estimated to weigh 10 billion tons. Its metallic core may be nearly 400 meters across. A strike on Mars would release the energy of 2 million megatons of TNT, thousands of times the largest nuclear device ever tested on Earth. The crater could be 60 kilometers wide and 5 kilometers deep. Debris would be hurled into orbit, and some fragments could escape Mars entirely, drifting into interplanetary space. And we must remember, Mars is not an empty world. It is home to decades of human effort. The Perseverance rover, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, communications relays, climate studies, and life detection experiments, all of it could be destroyed in an instant. Behind the scenes, preparations are already underway. Leaked memos suggest that NASA is using the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter as a forward radar. Goldstone's antennas have been redirected to bounce signals off Atlas's core. And the echoes, according to insiders, are metallic, hard, sharp, nothing like the soft reflections from ice and dust. If true, then Atlas is not just ice and rock. It may conceal an artificial interior wrapped in a shell of sacrificial ice. Loeb and his students argue that Atlas may be a directed messenger. With each pulse of gas, it is steering itself, not drifting. It sails on its own exhaust, the way our spacecraft use thrusters to adjust their paths. And just weeks ago, the Mars Express orbiter photographed 3 small glints above Mars, 3 objects, triangular in formation, appearing on consecutive orbits. At first dismissed as cosmic rays, they may in fact be probes released by Atlas during a prior pass. If verified, these would be the first fragments of interstellar technology ever discovered. The timeline is chillingly short. Between September 19th and 30th, Atlas will make its final course corrections. At that time, it will be moving at 57 kilometers per second relative to Mars. Even a grazing strike at that speed could vaporize cubic kilometers of rock and throw a veil of dust into the solar system. Critics argue no comet could change its path by 10 kilometers per second using sublimation alone. The energy required is beyond any natural process. And yet, that is precisely what the trajectory implies. Something is providing thrust, perhaps fusion, perhaps antimatter, or perhaps something we cannot yet imagine. Meanwhile, amateur astronomers have captured eerie images of Atlas's tail splitting into 3 glowing streams, pulsing green-like aurora, converging toward Mars as though painting a path. Even though Mars lies far away, models suggest fragments from a collision could eventually reach Earth's orbit within a decade. If any of those fragments carried engineered microbes or nanotechnology, the contamination would not stop at Mars. It could spread to the inner solar system itself. Around the globe, emergency task forces are being formed quietly. ESA, Roscosmos, China's CNSA, Japan's JAXA. Behind closed doors, planetary defense scenarios are being discussed for the first time in history, whether humanity should intercept or even destroy an interstellar object. And yet, the ultimate question remains, who or what is controlling Atlas? Is it an ancient derelict craft, millions of years old? Is system still running on autopilot? Or is it a deliberate probe, testing us, observing us? We cannot yet know. But one thing is clear. The old story of a passive comet no longer fits. By mid-September, every great eye of humanity, Hubble, James Webb, and the largest telescopes on Earth will be focused on this single object. If the pulses continue, if the trajectory closes, then Mars may soon witness an impact not seen since the heavy bombardment 4 billion years ago. For scientists, it would be the discovery of a lifetime. For humanity, it could be a nightmare unfolding in slow motion. And yet the silence from official channels grows louder. NASA issues calm statements. ESA posts routine images. But they know, as do we, that if Atlas collides with Mars, the implications will rewrite everything we believe about our place in the universe. So when you look up at Mars this September, remember, above that rusty world, an interstellar object is threading the eye of a cosmic needle. Its strange green exhaust pulses rhythmically, adjusting its course meter by meter. Perhaps it is random. Perhaps it is natural. But if it is not, if some hidden engine deep inside that icy core is steering toward a deliberate crash, then the first undeniable evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence may not come as a radio signal. It may come as a comet, a glowing, pulsing comet slamming into Mars at 57 kilometers per second, rewriting the Martian sky and whispering across the void, "You are not alone." And we will know soon, very soon,